even closer. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yasodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Jira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yasodanandana Brajajana Randana Yasodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Om Agyattamanandasya Jananjana Salakaya Chaksuramilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Panopistam Stapitam Yena Bhute Vandeham Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrindam. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrindam. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrindam. Sorry, I'm just trying to find something here. I can't find it. Anyway, we are going to speak this morning about the deliverance of Jagai and Madai. And it's a very significant pastime because if Jagai and Madai can be delivered, anyone can be delivered. And they were delivered. So just to give some idea of Jagai and Madai's activities, they would actually look in the Vedas to find out what was the most sinful activity they could perform. So they came. Now, who put this up? Keep it down. I don't know why you shout into the microphones here. The microphones do the work themselves. And I don't need to have a loud microphone. Can you put it down again? Hare Krishna. Everything here in India has to be loud. It's almost like even the birds have a microphone in front of them when they make their sounds. So they found out that the most sinful activity that they could perform would be to go to a grihastha home, rape the wife in front of the husband, and kill the husband in front of the wife. That's their conclusion. So therefore everyone was quite afraid. They were not just afraid, they just avoided Jagai Madai as much as possible. So after Nityananda and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met for the first time, at the time Nityananda was 30 years old, or was it 32? And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was 20 years. And that meeting is described, anyone who experienced the reunion between Nityananda and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it was such a ecstatic pastime, because the feelings of separation between the two were so intensive that anyone who saw this pastime, then they would become Krishna conscious on the spot. Anyway, after that pastime, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Jagannath Puri to make Jagannath Puri his base, and Nityananda Prabhu followed him. And Nityananda Prabhu stayed for some time, but at one point Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Nityananda, if we both stay here in Jagannath Puri, how will the preaching go on? So he gave him a mandate, and the mandate was go through the streets of Navadvip, meet every man at his door, and ask him to sing the names of Hare throughout his life, the rest of his life. And you then come and report to me every evening the result of your preaching. So Haridas Thakur and Nityananda Prabhu came together and they planned the preaching in Navadvip. They went out and did as they were told. And at one point they met Jagai and Madai, and they gave that same mandate to Jagai and Madai, who became very angry. Who are these persons telling us what to do? We are independent. We have our own lifestyle. So they became very angry. So much so that Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur ran just to save their lives. And they reported back to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that there are two non-devotees, exceptionally non-devotees, who are living here in Navadvip. And if you deliver them, then everyone can be delivered. Show your mercy to them, show the extent of your mercy to them, then everyone will be sure to know that Krishna consciousness is the most powerful mission in this age of Kali Yuga. So the next morning they went out again and met the two brothers, Jagai and Madai, and they requested them, you please chant the Hare Krishna mantra. Please give up all your sinful activities and chant Hare Krishna. To which they both became angry again, and Madai picked up a pot, threw it at Nityananda, cut his head, and blood came from his forehead. Nityananda Prabhu was just folded hands. He didn't make any sign of anger or disappointment. Anyway, very quickly Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he heard what had happened and he immediately came to that spot. He was very angry because Nityananda was very dear to him, and he forgot himself, and he immediately sent for his Sudarshan chakra to kill Jagai and Madai. Nityananda, he implored, on his knees he implored the Lord, please don't do this. You have not come in this incarnation to kill anyone. Anything you want to kill, then kill the wickedness within their hearts and deliver them. And only on that plea did Lord Chaitanya stop from killing Jagai and Madai. And he said, that's okay, I will not kill them, but they must stop their sinful activities. They must become devotees and regularly chant the Hare Krishna mantra. It is said that Nityananda is even more merciful than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He stopped Lord Chaitanya from killing the two criminals. He begged the Lord to spare their lives because after all, the mood was to make devotees by killing the demoniac tendencies within the heart, not to slay anyone. So the Lord agreed to do this if the demoniac brothers would give up their sinful activities and change their bad habits into Krishna conscious ones. By his request, Mahaprabhu spared the brothers. By this mercy, the brothers fell at the feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and immediately surrendered their lives in devotion to Lord Chaitanya. Actually, he wasn't so merciful to Madai because of the offense that he had committed to Nityananda. And Madai understood this. And he one day he found out where Nityananda was. He was thinking himself of all the terrible sins that he had committed to so many people in Navadvip. How would they ever be, relieved of the offenses that I have committed to them? How will they become compassionate to me? So he found Lord Chaitanya in a solitary place, fell at his feet, and revealed his mind that he could never be forgiven for the sinful activities that he had committed. It is also stated in the Chaitanya Bhagavad that even Yamaraj's secretary, I think his name is Gupta, Chitragupta, yeah. Even he who records all the sinful and pious activities of each individual, Jagai and Madai's activities were so unlimited that even he could not record everything that they had done. This is how sinful they were. So he came to Lord Nityananda, took shelter of his lotus feet, and he revealed his mind. He revealed his mind by saying, I will never be excused for the sinful activities that I have done. Nityananda said, there has been no offense, and he gave the example, because he was also trying to pacify Nityananda, the fact that he had thrown the pot at his forehead, cut his head. So he was also coming to apologize and asked Nityananda for forgiveness for even that. So Nityananda, he said, he gave an example of a mother who tolerates a small child. This child is passing stool and sometimes kicking the mother, but the mother does not take any offense. The mother sees the stool of the child like chandan. She said, you are like my child, so I don't take any offense. But then he said, oh my Lord, you are present within everyone's heart. I have harmed so many living entities. If I knew all of whom I have harmed, then I could beg for forgiveness from all of them. But I do not know how many, there's so many, I don't know all the people. Please tell me how those people I have committed so sinfully against, committed sin against, how will I be relieved of this offense, that they will be pleased with me? If you are merciful upon me, then kindly advise me what to do, so I can be relieved of the offenses, and at the same time the people will also be forgive me. So Lord Chaitanya replied, please listen, I will instruct you. Regularly go and clean the bathing ghat on the Ganges. When the people take bath, they're happily, then all of them will bless you. If you serve Ganga Devi, who eradicates all offenses, then what more good fortune is there for you than doing this service? You should also offer obeisances to everyone with great humility. If you do this, then all will be forgiven. all your offenses will be forgiven. After receiving this advice, Madai circumambulated Lord Nityananda many times and then went about fulfilling the order of Nityananda. It was interesting, this pastime about bathing, cleaning the bathing ghats. I was just in Jagannath Puri, and one day we decided to go to Navadvip, and on that day we wanted to bathe in the Ganges. So we decided to go to Navadvip and bathe from there, because they're now constructing a new ghat at the place where Iskcon devotees usually take bath. So we thought, well, let's go to Navadvip, and there's many ghats there, and we can bathe there. So he arranged for this rickshaw to take us to one ghat. But the ghat was very filthy, dirty. I said, okay, take us to another ghat. And then same, and then another ghat, and another ghat. We were about 2 hours trying to find a bathing ghat on the banks of the Ganges that was clean. We failed to find. This is the sorry state of India today. Unfortunately, they don't know the importance of cleanliness, and not only that, specifically in a holy dham. It's actually quite disgusting for us Westerners to see this. And of course in Mayapur there are a team of devotees who are trying their best to keep the holy dham clean. But it's almost like an impossible feat because of the amount of people that are just throwing their rubbish down everywhere. So unless you can become a devotee of the Lord, you cannot understand the importance of cleanliness, and specifically cleanliness in the holy dham. So eventually we took bath anyway, and we had to step over so much garbage, and it wasn't very pleasant. So here Nityananda is encouraging Madai, you clean the ghat, because by cleaning the ghat, the bathing ghats, the people will be very happy. They will be able to bathe in the Ganges and feel blissful, happy that they can bathe in such nice clean areas. So this is how Jagai and Madai became delivered. So as I was mentioning, I'm celebrating the 25th anniversary of becoming a devotee, and I've seen the 50 years of the preaching of Krishna consciousness. I've seen how Krishna consciousness is making a major input in everyone's lives. In those days, if you said you were a vegetarian, people would take a distance from you and think you were coming from some other planet or something, because even vegetarianism wasn't even understood. Now in England at least, vegetarianism, veganism, karma, reincarnation. These are all household words and being accepted. Not by everyone, but at least it is becoming known, well known, that there is another way to live. There are higher values in life, and one must give up those lower values and accept the higher ones. And in fact, the input of this movement is also global, not just global, universal. One day the Yamadutas were discussing with Yamaraj. They had a concern. This is what they said. This was the discussion. Yamadutas came to Yamaraj. How are you, Maharaj? Is everything okay? Yamaraj said, I'm doing well, but you look a little tense. Yes, we are disturbed by a few matters. Oh, let me know what is your concern. I am worried about hell, said one Yamaduta. Why? What has happened? Well, hell is getting empty by each passing day, and if this situation continues, we will need to close down hell. But why? What has happened? This is just because of one devotee of Krishna. Oh, devotee? Who is that devotee who's performing such miracles? Well, this devotee is a representative of Krishna, and although he has already left this material body, his material body, and returned back to the spiritual world, his magic is still working like anything. Whom you are speaking about? Well, who else could it be? He's called Srila Prabhupada. I don't know what he told his followers, but they are preaching and preaching and preaching, and because of their preaching, no one is coming to this hell. Yamaraj, yes, you are right, this is a concern. Yamaduta, yes, even we cannot touch them to take them to hell. Why? They must have made some mistakes, and for making certain mistakes, they can be brought to me, and I will take them to hell. We cannot take them. Everyone is going to Krishna Loka because they know a transcendental secret. Oh, what is that secret? They know that in whatever circumstance, whatever state, you quit your body, in your next birth you will attain that same body. That's why every devotee keeps chanting Krishna's names and never stop chanting. They practice to chant the Lord's holy name, so at the time of death they will be able to attain the Lord. Wherever they go, they keep on chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, which is not so powerful that these devotees become very sharp and smart. They always chant loudly in microphones. so that people around them can also hear. The sound is everywhere. Some senior devotees are totally renounced and are traveling from country to country giving classes on Krishna consciousness. What shall we do? We will be in a big trouble if hell closes. We will all lose our job. This is a big issue and a problem for hell, said Yamaraj. But at least I am happy that we will still have a lot of prisoners to hell. No, Prabhu, these devotees are very cunning. Srila Prabhupada has revealed every secret to them. These people are absorbed in Ekadashis to give benefit to their forefathers even. And therefore hell's population is decreasing by the day. Especially because of Indira Ekadashi. Due to Indira Ekadashi, lots of souls have been released from hell. As stated in the Garuda Purana, someone who is suffering in hell cannot practice Krishna consciousness because it requires some mental peace. The reactionary torture of hell makes that impossible for that person. But if a relative of a sinner suffering in hell gives some charity in the name of the sinner, he can leave hell and enter into the heavenly planets. Or if a sinner's relatives observe Indira Ekadashi, fasting for his suffering kinsman, the kinsman goes directly to the spiritual world. And what's more, they observe every single Ekadashi as per the direction given by Srila Prabhupada, and thereby give comfort to their forefathers in this hell. Yamaraj, oh my Krishna, I'm getting concerned with these devotees. But why don't you put these devotees into some turbulence so that they will be afraid and will forget to chant Hare Krishna? Maharaj, it's not easy. Whenever we create some problem for these devotees, they start chanting the Hare Krishna mantra even more. And they thank Krishna for giving them a test or for their purification. They're not afraid of any problem. They think that whenever Krishna sends some problem, it means that Krishna loves them and is testing their sincerity. They're not afraid of anything. They know that Krishna is everywhere. They sing the Hare Krishna mantra in every situation. They are making us mad. We are really sitting idle just because of these devotees. Oh no, said Yamaraj, we are really in trouble. Even one more problem, said one Yamaduta. What's that? They're making every place like Vrindavan. Well, how do they do that? They are building new temples and spreading money to Krishna's, spending money to Krishna's service. They have installed so many deities in people's homes. I can tell you that these devotees are making such a big mess in this material world. I am sure that if they continue to work with the speed that they are working, they will make everyone go from this world to Krishna Loka. Yamaraj, oh my Krishna, save us from these devotees. Yamaduta, well, maybe it's better to request Krishna to give us another job. Yamaraj, what is the mantra anyway? So all these Yamadutas who were discussing with Yamaraj, they started to sing the Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, you're Yamadutas, all right? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. So as Yamaraj was watching the Yamadutas chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, suddenly they all started to rise and go back home, back to Godhead. And Yamaduta was thinking, well, what am I going to do now? All my servants have gone back home. Maybe I should chant too. So he sat down and chanted too. Hari Bol. Prabhupada said, as this Krishna consciousness movement spreads worldwide, many side benefits continue to manifest. So he explained the different things that could change in society. He said, from ignorance to passion to goodness, the world will change, and then gradually to sattva guna. Everything will be transcendentally good. The ecological system will change. People will be more healthy by having a vegetarian diet, taking prasadam every day. A greater understanding of karmic reactions. Limiting the evils of the world and allowing people to control their mind and their senses. Prabhupada said that Krishna consciousness is an epidemic. An epidemic is very difficult to stop. Just like we had this epidemic, so there were some precautions that were made so that it would not spread. But the difficulty in regards to the Krishna consciousness spreading, there is no cure. Everyone will be inundated. There's no one can escape, even though they try to run to the West to escape the Vedic culture here. As soon as you arrive, you will see devotees there. In fact, nowadays, many temple presidents are from India, because they came with the idea to enjoy, and they say they saw there was nothing there to enjoy, so they went to the temple, got initiation, and became the temple president of the temple. So this is the power and potency of Krishna consciousness. When I first went to Mayapur, and it was in 1973, and on a morning walk, Prabhupada stopped and he said, "This is my international headquarters." And of course we were thinking, how can this be the international headquarters? There's only one building, which was the Lotus building, and the rest was paddy fields. But of course today we can see how Mayapur is, they say all the holy dhams, all the holy dhams in Kali Yuga decrease in its potency, but Mayapur dham increases. And there's no question of any doubt regarding Mayapur being the International Society for Krishna Conscious headquarters. Prabhupada said, this Krishna consciousness will devour the whole of Europe and America. As far as newspapers are concerned, these bad reports, they simply take some opportunity for selling their newspapers. It has no lasting value. These countries are faced with difficulties, but it is nature's law. You will suffer. They will be without food, water. They will be heavily taxed. There will be revolution. How long can they keep the people terrorized? It will burst. I cannot imagine how people are living in such a rotten state. There is nothing like the pleasure of Krishna consciousness. Now everyone is morose. Only we are benedicting the fallen souls all over the world. So go on with your enthusiastic preaching and try to do good to others and give them Krishna consciousness. So like just similar to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mandate, Iskcon has also made a mandate, and one of them is as follows: to systematically propagate spiritual knowledge to society at large, and to educate all people in the techniques of spiritual life, in order to check the imbalance of values in life, and to achieve real unity and peace in the world. So this is our mission statement, and it's working. So Prabhupada said, preaching means to bother people. I notice that in your book stands you are standing or sitting behind the table. So I've been encouraging devotees to come in front of the table and stop people as they're walking by. I stopped one boy yesterday. He was coming to the temple for the first time, and I showed him the Bhagavad Gita, and he said, yes. He said, I think I'm ready for this. He said, I'm ready for this. How much does the book cost? And if I wasn't on the other side of the table, he would have just passed. But I confronted him. What's your name? What are you doing? Are you a student? He said, no. I said, are you happy? He said, no, I'm not. And I think I'm ready for this. So Prabhupada would encourage us, don't wait for people to come to you. You go to them. So I've been telling the book distributors that this is a special 2-day festival, and we're giving out the books at cost price. Right? You give some story. Encourage them. We're promoting specifically this book, the Bhagavad Gita. Please take one home, and if you have one, you give it to your friends. Don't be afraid. Actually, it's not you that's going to distribute the book anyway, but you need to make an arrangement that people will receive the book, and Lord Chaitanya will do the rest. You can go everywhere, anywhere, distribute books. Tamal Krishna, Prabhupada's servant, once asked Prabhupada, if your book distributors are going all over the place distributing the books, is it possible that they will get some contamination? Because all around, Maya is all around. It's Kali Yuga, contamination is there. Is it possible that your book distributors will experience some contamination, and therefore at the end of life they will not be able to go back home, back to Godhead, because there's some deficiency? This is what Prabhupada said. You take that chance for Krishna. And if you're sincere in your efforts to distribute these books, which are helping Sri Sri Gaur Nitai in the mission of spreading Krishna consciousness, then at the time of death, they will both, Gaur Nitai, will enter into the recesses of your mind and heart and drag you back home, back to Godhead. So it's not a question of contamination. We have Lord Chaitanya's permission. We have Nityananda's special favor on us. We can go anywhere. Why behind the table? Come in front of the table. Lord Chaitanya's giving you permission. And then approach people individually. There's a special promotion today. Please take this book. I know that you're doing very well here. We all know that. India is the best. You have come to the point of being the best in the world in book distribution. But you can even double and triple what you're doing by being more daring. Boldness, Prabhupada said we must be bold. Don't wait. Everyone's waiting for them someone to come so they can sell their product. We don't wait for nothing. We have permission by Lord Chaitanya. He will arrange everything for us if we just be convinced, have faith that He is right beside us, and He will distribute the book for you. If there's no preaching, there's no botheration. This is Prabhupada. You may sit down and make a show of chanting and meditating, but that means sleeping. If there's no preaching, there's no realization. Preaching is our life. If we are not preaching, what is this life? It has no value. A devotee thanked Srila Prabhupada for allowing him to come to Mayapur. Srila Prabhupada said, yes, Mayapur is our home. In the West, there is only two purposes to preach, two purposes to be in the West, to preach or to have sense gratification. So if you are not preaching, you are immersed in sense gratification. Unless the devotee develops compassion to preach, one is only a third-class devotee. So to award fearlessness to the non-devotees is the highest welfare work. Such a devotee is on the second-class platform. Those persons who sit down with an individual and assist them in their Krishna consciousness are better than a class giver or a giver of rituals of karma. And then finally, one quote, Prahlad Maharaj. My dear Lord Nrsingadev, I see that there are many saintly persons indeed, but they are interested only in their own deliverance. Not caring for the big cities and towns, they go to the Himalayas or to the forest to meditate with vows of silence. They are not interested in delivering others. As for me, however, I do not wish to be liberated alone, leaving aside all these poor fools and rascals. I know that without Krishna consciousness, without taking shelter of your lotus feet, one cannot be happy. Therefore I wish to bring them back to the shelter of your lotus feet. And this is Prabhupada's Vyasa Puja offering in 1961, before he came to the West. Even now, my Godbrothers, you return on the order of your master, and together we are engaged in this puja. But simply a festival of flowers and fruits does not constitute worship. The one who serves the message of the Guru really worships him. Oh, shame on you, my dear Godbrothers. Are you not embarrassed? In the manner of business, you increase your disciples. Our master said, preach. Let the neophytes remain inside the temple and simply ring the bells. Take a good look at the terrible situation that has arisen. Everyone has become a sense enjoyer and has given up the preaching. From the seas across the earth, penetrate the universal shell, come together and preach this Krishna consciousness. Then our Master's service will be in proper order. Make your promise today. Give up all politics and diplomacy. As Bhaktivinoda said, when will that day come when a temple will be established in every house, in every corner of the world? When will the High Court judge be a Gaudiya Vaishnava with tilak beautifully decorating his forehead? When will the Vaishnavas winning votes be elected president of the land and preaching is spread everywhere? One more quote from Prahlad. O best of the great personalities, I am not at all afraid of the material energy, for wherever I stay I am fully absorbed in thought of your glories and activities. My concern is only for the fools and rascals who are making elaborate plans for material happiness and maintaining their families, society and country. I am simply concerned with love for them. So these are examples. Prahlad Maharaj, Prabhupada, Nityananda Prabhu, there are examples whereby we can follow in their footsteps. and, be successful ourselves in our own Krishna consciousness. Of course, to preach we must have a good taste ourselves, so therefore reading Srila Prabhupada's books are also equally as important. Preaching and good behavior together, this is the key to success in preaching. So we are little Jagais and Madais. And we've taken up the process of Krishna consciousness. So my advice to you this morning, continue your practices. Don't jump off the boat. You're on Lord Chaitanya's boat, and it is crossing the ocean of material existence. Don't think you're not moving. You're moving. You're not any longer going around in circles. You're moving forward. What is this circle? Birth, death, 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 birth, death. Do you know how long you've been going around in circles? Sometimes we celebrate birthdays. I am 21 years old today. I am 56 years old today. Someone brings in a cake with some candles, and you celebrate your birthday. But you know how old you really are? Maybe 1,000,000 years old. Maybe more. Are you going to celebrate? Bring in a cake with 1,000,000 candles so you can blow them out and have a party? No. It's, when we think about it, if we really think about it, we've been here too long and we need to get back home. Lord Chaitanya has given the formula for us to return to. And if we just assist him nicely, then all success is guaranteed for all of us. So keep chanting. Lord Chaitanya said 2 things: develop a taste for chanting the holy name, and go and give Krishna consciousness to others, and your life will be successful. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam class ki jai, Nitai Gaur Prema.